Hey guys, my name is Kai Watanabe. I am a teamfight tactics content creator, and in today's video, we'll be doing the second ever projects breakdown. Now, if you don't know exactly what that is, my sort of role in the community, if you will, at this point in TFT, has been to create these really elaborate projects and programs for the teamfight tactics community, whether that's trying to improve players to the highest level, whether that's giving them a way to compete and get good practice during the off season, whether it's for ways to then get really good dedicated coaching when the current space might not be exactly offering what the players will need. So in today's video, I really want to just cover all of the projects because they're constantly always changing. And I know, especially even for the people who are like super dedicated and love to like keep up with what I do and the things that I like to create, it can be a lot of information to try to keep track of, and things can get lost very easily. So in today's video, we're going to be going over everything, and that's going to be Project PBE, Project Mentor, and Project Patch. Let's get on to today's video. So the first project I want to talk about today is going to be Project PBE, which is just essentially Champions Queue from League of Legends, but for Teamfight Tactics PBE, where we have a specific Discord server where we've created a custom bot that will help, one, find you really good custom lobbies in order to practice in, but number two, aggregate and actually collect your scores and see just how well you're performing compared to everybody else around you. So that is sort of like the big thing about it. Before, in the past, it used to be just sort of really this exclusive like top pro players club that those kinds of players could only really partake in, where we've seen a lot of pro players partake, a lot of worlds winners, worlds participants playing it as well. And actually the cutoff for set 15 after regional multipliers was 1050 LP roughly, and like without multipliers it's about 11 to 1200 LP. Really high. But I really wanted to expand this project so that tier 2 players can also get a hand at trying their best when it comes to prepping and getting good practice. And this set, for the first time ever, we're actually introducing a tier 2 circuit. So the following 400 players after the top 325 who get into the tier 1 will be introduced to the tier 2 circuit instead, and they'll be able to participate and be able to take on Project PBE as well. The format is essentially the same as it's been in the past, where there is a ladder portion and then there is a major at the very end. For tier 1 players, it's going to be the exact same as it's been before, but for tier 2 players, it's actually just going to be a 7-day ladder grind instead, because we're still trying to experiment with the actual tier 2 circuit and system as well, but hopefully we get to introduce some level of tournament in the future. Now this set in particular, we also introduced what's called a preseason now, because there are so many players who are going to be able to utilize the bot now. We just want to make sure that people feel comfortable utilizing the Project PBE bot, but also just making sure that the bot itself can be as stable as possible before the actual event really starts. Preseason is a new sort of 4 or 5 day period where as soon as the set launches, Project PBE will actually be available for everybody to use. Everybody isn't the people who qualify for the event. Let me just be clear about that. But with that being said, the players will be able to utilize the Project PBE bot to be able to already find good quality practice, but the scores during that preseason time, during that 5 day period, they will not count towards the actual event itself. All the scores will reset once that preseason session is over, and I believe it's on November 24th is when the actual ladder event starts, and all your scores will really start to matter then. So that is going to be something that is super new this set as well. So a lot of changes are going to be happening for Project PBE. Now, if you're not actually convinced about the quality of the event itself, here are just some, by the way, some of the notable past players. 2-time world champion, Zeta title, T1 Bintam considered one of Korea's, if not the strongest Korean pro across the whole scene. Michael has played in the past as well. Solo Gasung, YBY1, 2 times third at Worlds, considered one of the strongest players of all time. Han Xing, Rainplosion, Kevin Parker, Light YGO, Marcel P. This set, we also have players like Dish Soap, like Prestonvent, T-Lides. So many people have signed up to play in this project. It's incredible, like the showing, the set. And the reason why the showing is so incredible this set is because of the Paris Open. In case you didn't know this already, for the Paris Open, it's actually occurring on the very first patch of the set. So a lot of players aren't going to be able to get really good practice if they're just sticking to live. So Project PBE is going to be literally the best way for all these pros and top players to get good practice in, and as well, it's going to be the best way for you yourself watching this to get good practice as well. I do think, again, the tier 2, I think there's like a lot of stigma when it comes to the term tier 2 for some reason, but if you're playing in the tier 2 circuit, you'll still have very good practice. Like, I think if anybody, if you're like high masters GM plus, I would already recommend just trying to sign up. I think it'll be worth your time, and who knows, you might be able to see you in the tier 2 circuit for Project PBE. The last thing I want to mention as well is the notable dates. Signups close at the time of recording this video in 2 days. They close on November 16th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, which is this Sunday. So I highly recommend signing up, and please make sure you do so before the deadline. If you sign up after the deadline, I will not let you in. Doesn't matter who you are, unless you're like, I don't know, like Robin songs, like maybe. But like, I don't know, like you have to be a very good player for me to be like, you know what, we'll give you a pass. But otherwise, for everybody else, the 9 to 5 Andy, sign-ups closed November 16th, 11:59 p.m. Basically no exceptions. So there you go. But I mean, I'm a reasonable guy. I'll hear you out if you're a good player. Anyways, that's gonna do it for that. The next project I'm going to talk about today is one that I'm super passionate about, and that's going to be Project Mentor, which is, in my opinion, the #1 teamfight tactics personal training program across the entire scene, bar none. There is no other program in the entire scene, and I swear by this, that has such quality mentors, such quality dedicated people working and willing to work with you, so much value packed into the program, as well as making sure that there is such a high level of accountability to make sure that you are actually improving at the game. Just so that you understand who the incredible mentors are in this project, players like Dank Memes, The Set, Bosso Skills, Ripple Overdrive, Jungle Book, Biri, Void Sin, Disco, Demacian Raptor, and Sub-Zero Arc, your favorite YouTuber outside of yours truly, are all partaking in this project. These are players, again, in case you don't know who these players are, these are like rank 1 NA players. These are players who have been to Worlds. These are players who are in the Teamfight Tactics Pro Circuit. These are players who are just accoladed with incredible achievements in the game itself, and it's just easily the best roster mentors that you will find anywhere across the scene. Now, the program itself, the way that it works is that twice a week you get 1 hour. Usually it's a little longer than that because the coaches are like very dedicated and want to see you grow. But twice a week, dedicated 1 hour coaching sessions with your mentor. There's a direct access to your mentor 24/7. It's basically a text channel that you guys can talk in whenever you feel like it. Whenever you have questions, they will be there to answer. Mid and end of set tournaments with prizing exclusive to Project Mentor players. That way you actually get tournament prep. You gotta learn how to actually prepare for trials, for cups, how to build a meta read, how to build an edge, stuff like that. Really exclusive to us specifically. You also get weekly group pro VOD review sessions led by yours truly. I will be hosting those once a week. And end of set comprehensive reports that document your progress across the set, specifically scored by your mentor. This is what those progress reports really look like. And again, they're so in-depth. They really just show how you progress as a player throughout the course of the set. And it really just demonstrates, like, we can show you just how you've gotten better at the game and how you've improved, or maybe areas you've gotten worse in because you're trying to round out your stats altogether as a pro or as a player. So overall, again, an incredible program as well that I highly recommend checking out. And after the program as well, there are some retention benefits. So first off, you're promoted to graduate apprentice role and permissions in the Project Mentor Discord. There's a separate, it's called the Graduate Hall, where a lot of grads from the program itself get to actually have a little bit of extra perks, their own little chats, etc. Lifetime 5% off the program in the future if you decide to re-enroll. Lifetime access to join the waitlist for Project Mentor tournaments in case we do have people drop out, which there always is. It depends on like people's time zones and like etc. But there always is, so you can always partake in the future in case you ever want to partake and just get some free cash if you're free on the weekend. You get lifetime access to all the VODs of all the pro group VOD review sessions that we do, where essentially we do the group session like together. You won't be able to partake in the call, but you'll be able to watch the VOD and be able to just see like, hey, like what did these guys talk about during this time? As the brand evolves, you'll get more lifetime access to exclusive perks as we continue to build this stuff out. But here's the kicker about this project. It is actually a very highly selective project. We really want to make sure that those who sign up and actually pay for the program are really getting their bang for their buck. So the selection process works as the following. First up, you sign up for the project, which sign up link can be found on the website as well. And sign-ups this set for set 16 close on November 20th. So I highly recommend signing up. First off, you sign up and you say, hey, basically, these are the 3 mentors that I want to be working with the most out of all of them. And if you don't know who you want to work with, there is a Meet the Mentors video that is available on the website and also on this YouTube channel, where you can see that over here, you can see all of the mentors and sort of get a good idea as to like what their accolades are, a little bit more of their personalities, and just like see if they're going to feel like they're going to be a good fit for you or not. But basically, you choose the top 3 you want to be working with for the set. After that, we interview literally everyone. We make sure that if you signed up for this project, that you are getting interviewed by the mentors you signed up to work with. We want to make sure that you not only get to have the opportunity to ask questions to the mentors as well, but also for the mentors to assess whether or not they believe that you two will be a good fit. Afterwards, the mentors will then send to me the list of applicants they both want to work with and rank them, letting me know that, hey, these are the applicants that I think will be a good fit for us, and we'll get a lot of stuff done, we'll get some good work in, and also I'll rank them from most to least that I want to be working with. And obviously they want to work with everybody that they choose, but most to least. Then after that, they send it over to me. They say, hey, this is the list, and I take everybody's list and I try to pair everybody up as well as I can. And if you get selected, we confirm payment, and then that is when you can start for the next 10 weeks to really try and get better at the game itself. Again, this is the best way to improve at TFT, bar none, across the whole set. We put so much effort and so much dedicated practice and just so much science into just making sure that you are improving as a player. If you are still not convinced, check out the testimonials on the website as well. You can read. I did not change anything about the way that players have written their testimonials. Maybe there's some grammatical issues, so I just like slightly fixed it. But overall, these are like real testimonials from players who have partook in the project before, and you can really read and just understand that like this is what the project is really about. And I highly again checking it out. We have so many returnee signups as well, and a lot of new faces as well who've signed up. So I highly recommend checking it out. I personally might even partake in the project myself, who knows. But yeah, it's honestly super dope. Please check it out. I am so proud of this one, and I'm so proud of the people that have been working on the project itself. Now, the last project I'm going to talk to you guys about today is going to be Project Patch. Now, Project Patch is essentially for those who heard my Project Mentor spiel and they're like, they don't believe that that's going to be the best training for them, but also like maybe the price tag is too high, and I totally understand. Project Patch is essentially high volume, high intensity TFT coaching across the course of one specific patch with a high level mentor. And this set, the coaches available for Project Patch are going to be myself, Disco from Project Mentor, Biri from Project Mentor, Jungle Book from Project Mentor, and Demacian Raptor from Project Mentor. All of these are incredible coaches as well, myself included, but they are wonderful players to be working with. And if you want to learn more about them, again, you can check out the video here, the Meet the Mentors, if you want to learn more a little bit about each of them. But what this essentially is we are trying to work with you over the course of one specific patch and really be able to focus on improving your fundamentals and your skills when it comes to TFT from patch to patch, but also from set to set and just getting better overall. The reason why we structured this way is because when it comes to TFT coaching, TFT itself is an incredibly dynamic game, and when it comes to getting coached in it from patch to patch, especially if your sessions are on different patches or even different sets, the base game is so different. There are sometimes from patch to patch, the S tier comp gets gutted to C tier, or the C tier comp suddenly becomes A tier, or the itemizations that were prioritized earlier are now not so prioritized anymore. Your unit holds during stage 1 might even be completely different. And when it comes to TFT coaching, the unfortunate reality is that sometimes you're just stuck trying to learn the patch rather than actually trying to learn the game itself. And that is a very big problem. So with Project Patch, what we're doing is essentially making sure that you are working on a very specific and solid base that isn't changing too much. I mean, obviously there are B and C patches here and there, but those will get addressed when you're working with your mentor. That being said though, by working with the same baseline, it's easier to see that your decision making is being correctly reinforced. For example, let's take like set 9 Samira, who was a 1 cost, for example, right? On a specific patch, it's very possible that that unit was like an auto click. You have to click on this unit every single time because 80 lines are good, and you know the Samira is going to be super strong and good at preserving HP. Awesome. But that also means that if the next patch hits and you have more coaching since the last one, then what ends up happening is that, well, suddenly, like, where Samira gets gutted, and now that's not a unit you're not supposed to be clicking on anymore, and because you're not supposed to be clicking on her anymore, now you're not supposed to build IE as much anymore, because the AD lines overall got nerfed as well. Well, suddenly, now you have to put and use brain power to keep that in mind while trying to keep working on your fundamentals. There's a lot of processing going on, and we're trying to make sure that, hey, when you're working with us, the patch itself, yeah, you gotta learn it and make sure you're on the same page as us, but once that's figured out, and it's figured out relatively very quickly, you can then really focus and hone in your time on making sure that your fundamentals and your skills as a holistic TFT player are really getting better. And last set in set 15, I tested this myself and I was the only coach available for Project Patch, and I can say it worked very well. We had players who were coming back and working with me, and we saw them skyrocket in LP quite a bit because they actually got to see their fundamentals improve significantly because they felt like they knew, hey, I understand now how to like better read the meta, better understand my slams and the way that I approach the game, etc. So I highly recommend checking it out. And booking, again, will be super simple. All of this will be available on the page itself once we're done building up the systems and stuff. Again, the page itself is under construction, but it will look something like this. Basically, let's say, for example, you want to work with me. Then simply you go here, you go, okay, I want to work with Kai on patch 16.2. And by the way, my links are working available. If you want to find them, you'll probably be able to find them somewhere. But it's a tidy cal. I'll put it in the description below if you need it. Or you can see the URL for God's sake. But anyways, you just go here, you book now. The theme editor, that's not going to pop up for you. But you essentially want to book 4 times. And let's say you booked the 19th on Friday. Let's say you booked the 21st at 1. You booked the Tuesday at like 7:30 p.m. And you book 27th at like 4:30. All set. Confirm your bookings. Click here, and then it'll just show you all the times that are available. Show you the time zone that you scheduled these for, the session, like how long each one is, an hour and 30 minutes. And you basically fill out the form here, pay with PayPal, etc. And that's it. And you're all set, and you're basically ready to go. You'll get confirmation emails, you get email reminders, and it'll also tell you what the next steps are, how to actually like join the Discord so that you're available, ready to go, etc. So that is very, very simple. But with that being said, I hope this video was helpful for understanding what is going on with me and my content and all the projects that are going on this set. And if any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to answer them. Again, Project PvE, these signups close in 2 days. They close on the 16th. So make sure you sign up for that if you want to get good practice for the PvE cycle. And if you want to get really, really good at TFT, I highly recommend checking out Project MENTR and Project Patch. These are going to be some really awesome programs that are going to be available for you if you want to get better at the game. Project MENTR signups close on November 20th, and Project Patch, if you want to try that out instead, it's a little more expensive per patch. I'll tell you that right now. So Project MENTR is your real bang for your buck, but Project Patch is available as well, and the website and the construction should be done before set 16 goes live. So again, if you have any questions, throw them in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys all later. Take care. Happy climbing.